manuscripts of the Byzantine text. For some time following the 4th century, different types of text were current in the East, but at the end the Byzantine text almost wholly displaced the rest. The Byzantine text type has by far the largest number of surviving manuscripts, many of them written in the newer minuscule style and in Polytonic orthography handwriting, which had been invented in the 3rd century BC by Aristophanes of Byzantium but which took many centuries to catch on outside scholarly circles. For example, of 522 complete or nearly complete manuscripts of the General Epistles collated by the Institute for New Testament Textual Research in Münster, Germany, 372 of them attest the Byzantine reading in at least 90% of 98 test places. Amongst the earliest surviving manuscripts, the position is reversed. There are 6 manuscripts earlier than the 9th century which conform to the Byzantine text type, of which the 5th century Codex Alexandrinus is Byzantine only in the Gospels, with the rest of the New Testament being Alexandrian. By comparison, the Alexandrian text type is witnessed by 9 surviving uncials earlier than the 9th century, and is also usually considered to be demonstrated in 3 earlier papyri. Modern critical editions of the New Testament tend to conform most often to Alexandrian witnesses, especially Codex Sinaiticus and Codex Vaticanus. The earliest church father to witness to a Byzantine text type in substantial New Testament quotations is John Chrysostom, although the fragmentary, surviving works of Asterius the Sophist have also been considered to conform to the Byzantine text, and the incomplete surviving translation of Wulfila into Gothic is often thought to derive from the Byzantine text type or an intermediary between the Byzantine and Western text types. Chrysostom and Asterius used text only in 75% agreed with the standard Byzantine text. The second earliest translation to witness to a Greek base conforming generally to the Byzantine text in the Gospels is the Syriac Peshitta, usually dated to the beginning of the 5th century, although in respect of several much contested readings, such as Mark chapter 1 verse 2 and John chapter 1 verse 18, the Peshitta rather supports the Alexandrian witnesses, dating from the 4th century, and hence possibly earlier than the Peshitta. Is the Ethiopic version of the Gospels, best represented by the surviving 5th and 6th century manuscripts of the Garima Gospels and classified by Rockers Zuermund as early Byzantine. Zuermund notes that, especially in the Gospel of John, the form of the early Byzantine text found in the Ethiopic Gospels is quite different from the later Greek majority text, and agrees in a number of places with Papyrus 66. The form of the Byzantine text found in the earliest witnesses is not a monolithic whole, and sometimes differs from a Byzantine subgroup of manuscripts that proliferated after the 11th century. Amongst the bulk of later manuscripts, however, it is generally possible to demonstrate a clear Byzantine majority reading for each variant, and a Greek New Testament text based on these majority readings. The majority text has been produced by Zane C. Hodges and Arthur L. Farstad, although this text does not correspond to any one particular manuscript. Notable Byzantine manuscripts: other manuscripts, Papyri 73 uncials, Codex Mutanensis, Codex Cyprius, Codex Marquensis I Campinus, Petropolitanus Perp, Sinopensis, Gelphobetanus A, Gelphobetanus B, Nitransis, Nanianus, Monacensis, Tish and Orpheanus IV, Sangallensis, Tish and Orpheanus III, Petropolitanus, Rossanensis, Baratanus, Dionysiu, Vaticanus 2066, Untitled 047, 049, 052, 053, 054, 056, 061, 063, 064, 065, 069, 093, 0103, 0104, 0105, 0116, 0120, 0133, 0134, 0135, 0136, 0142, 0151, 0197, 0211, 0246, 0248, 0253, 0255, 0257, 0265, 0269, 0272, 0273. Minuscules. More than 80% of minuscules represent the Byzantine text. 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 18, 21, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 49, 50, 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 60, 61, 63, 65, 66, 68, 69, 70, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 80, 82, 83, 84, 89, 90, 92, 93, 95, 97, 98, 99, 100, 103, 104,105, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 116, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 155, 156, 159, 162, 167, 169, 170, 171, 177, 180,181,182, 183, 185, 186, 187, 189, 190, 192, 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205,206,207, 208, 209,210, 212, 214, 215, 217, 218,219, 220, 220, 221, 223, 224, 226, 227, 231, 232, 235, 236, 237, 240, 243, 244, 245, 246, 247, 248, 250, 254,256,259, 260, 261, 262, 263,264, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270, 272, 275, 276, 277, 278, 278b, 280, 281, 282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, 288, 289, 290, 291, 292, 293, 297, 300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, 308, 309, 313, 314, 316, 319, 320, 324, 325, 327, 328, 329, 330,331, 334, 335, 337, 342, 343, 344, 347, 350, 351, 352, 353, 354, 355, 356, 357, 358, 359, 360, 361, 362, 364, 365,366, 367, 368, 369, 371, 373, 374, 375, 376, 378,379, 380, 381, 384, 385, 386, 387, 388, 390, 392, 393, 394, 395, 396, 398,399, 401, 402, 404, 405, 407, 408, 409, 410, 411, 412, 413, 414, 415, 417, 418, 419, 422, 425, 426, 429,431,400 432, 438, 439, 443, 445, 446, 448, 449, 450, 451,000, 452, 454, 457, 458, 459,461, 465, 466, 469, 470, 471, 473, 474, 475, 476, 477, 478, 479, 480, 481, 482, 483, 484, 485, 490, 491, 492, 493, 494, 496, 497, 498, 499, 500, 501, 502, 504, 505, 506, 507, 509, 510, 511, 512, 514, 516, 518, 519, 520, 521, 522,523, 524, 525, 526, 527, 528, 529, 530, 531, 532, 533, 534, 535, 538, 540, 541, 546, 547, 548, 549, 550, 551, 553, 554, 556, 558, 559, 560, 564, 568, 570, 571, 573, 574, 575, 577, 578, 580, 583, 584, 585, 586, 587, 588, 592, 593, 594, 596, 597, 600, 601, 602, 603, 604, 605, 607, 610,614,616, 618, 620, 622, 624, 625, 626, 627, 628, 632, 633, 634, 637, 638, 639, 640, 642,644, 645, 648, 649, 650, 651, 655, 656, 657, 660, 662, 663, 664, 666, 668, 669, 672, 673, 674, 677, 680, 684, 685, 686, 688, 689, 690, 691, 692, 694, 696, 698, 699, 705, 707, 708, 711, 714, 715, 717, 718, 721, 724, 725, 727, 729, 730, 731, 734, 736, 737, 739, 741, 745, 746, 748, 750, 754, 755, 756, 757, 758, 759, 760, 761, 762, 763, 764, 765, 768, 769, 770, 773, 774, 775, 777, 778, 779, 781, 782, 783, 784, 785, 786, 787, 789, 790, 793, 794, 797, 798, 799, 801, 802, 806, 808, 809, 811, 818, 819, 820, 824, 825, 830, 831, 833, 834, 835, 836, 839, 840, 841, 843, 844, 845, 846, 848, 852, 853, 857, 858, 860, 861, 862, 864, 866, 867, 868, 870, 877, 880, 884, 886, 887, 889, 890, 893, 894, 896, 897, 898, 900, 901, 902, 904, 905, 906, 910, 911, 912, 914, 916, 917,918,919, 920, 921, 922, 924, 928, 938, 936, 937, 938, 942, 943, 944, 945, 950, 951, 952, 953, 955, 956, 957, 958, 959, 960, 961, 962, 963, 964, 965, 966, 967, 969, 970, 971, 973, 975, 977, 978, 980, 981, 987, 988, 991, 993, 994, 995, 997, 998, 999, 1000, 1003, 1004, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1010, 1011, 1013, 1014, 1015, 1016, 1017, 1018, 1019, 1020, 1023, 1024, 1025, 1026, 1028, 1030, 1031, 1032, 1033, 1036, 1044, 1045, 1046, 1050, 1052, 1053, 1054, 1055, 1056, 1057, 1059, 1060, 1061, 1062, 1063, 1065, 1067, 1068, 1069, 1070, 1072, 1073, 1074, 1075, 1076, 1077, 1078, 1080, 1081, 1083, 1085, 1087, 1088, 1089, 1094, 1099, 1100, 1101, 1103, 1104, 1105, 1107, 1110, 1112, 1119, 1121, 1123, 1129, 1148, 1149, 1150, 1161, 1168, 1169, 1171, 1172, 1173, 1174, 1176, 1177, 1185, 1186, 1187, 1188, 1189, 1190, 1191, 1193, 1196, 1197, 1198, 1199, 1200, 1201, 1202, 1203, 1205, 1206, 1207, 1208, 1209, 1211, 1212, 1213, 1214, 1215, 1217, 1218, 1220, 1221, 1222, 1223, 1224, 1225, 1226, 1227, 1231, 1241, 1251, 1252, 1254, 1255, 1260, 1264, 1277, 1283, 1285, 1292, 1296, 1297, 1298, 1299, 1300, 1301, 1303, 1305, 1309, 1310, 1312, 1313, 1314, 1315, 1316, 1317, 1318, 1319, 1320, 1323, 1324, 1328, 1330, 1331, 1334, 1339, 1340, 1341, 1343, 1345, 1347, 1350, 1350b, 1351, 1352, 1354, 1355, 1356, 1357, 1358, 1359, 1360, 1362, 1364, 1367, 1370, 1373, 1374, 1377, 1384, 1385, 1392, 1395, 1398, 1400, 1409, 1417, 1437, 1438, 1444, 1445, 1447, 1448, 1449, 1452, 1470, 1476, 1482, 1483, 1492, 1503, 1504, 1506, 1508, 1513, 1514, 1516, 1517, 1520, 1521, 1523, 1539, 1540, 1542b, 1543, 1545, 1547, 1548, 1556, 1566, 1570, 1572, 1573, 1577, 1583, 1594, 1597, 1604, 1605, 1607, 1613, 1614, 1617, 1618, 1619, 1622, 1628, 1636, 1637, 1649, 1656, 1662, 1668, 1672, 1673, 1683, 1693, 1701, 1704, 1714, 1717, 1720, 1723, 1725, 1726, 1727, 1728, 1730, 1731, 1732, 1733, 1734, 1736, 1737, 1738, 1740, 1741, 1742, 1743, 1745, 1746, 1747, 1748, 1749, 1750, 1752, 1754, 1755a, 1755b, 1756, 1757, 1759, 1761, 1762, 1763, 1767, 1768, 1770, 1771, 1772, 1800, 1821, 1826, 1828, 1829, 1835, 18 1841, 1846, 1847, 1849, 1851, 1852, 1854, 1855, 1856, 1858, 1859, 1860, 1861, 1862, 1869, 1870, 1872, 1874, 1876, 1877, 1878, 1879, 1880, 1882, 1883, 1888, 1889, 1891, 1897, 1899, 1902, 1905, 1906, 1907, 1911, 1914, 1915, 1916, 1917, 1918, 1919, 1920, 1921, 1922, 1923, 1924, 1925, 1926, 1927, 1928, 1929, 1930, 1931, 1932, 1933, 1934, 1936, 1937, 1938, 1941, 1946, 1948, 1951, 1952, 1954, 1955, 1956, 1957, 1958, 1964, 1970, 1971, 1972, 1974, 1975, 1978, 1979, 1980, 1981, 1982, 1986, 1988, 1992, 1997, 1998, 2001, 2003, 2007, 2009, 2013, 2048, 2096, 2098, 2111, 2119, 2125, 2126, 2127, 2132, 2133, 2135, 2138, 2139, 2140, 2141, 2142, 2144, 2160, 2172, 2173, 2175, 2176, 2177, 2178, 2181, 2183, 2187, 2189, 2191, 2199, 2218, 2221, 2236, 2261, 2266, 2267, 2273, 2275, 2277, 2281, 2289, 2295, 2300, 2303, 2306, 2307, 2309, 2310, 2311, 2352, 2355, 2356, 2373, 2374, 2376, 2378, 2381, 2382, 2386, 2389, 2390, 2406, 2407, 2409, 2414, 2415, 2418, 2420, 2422, 2423, 2424, 2425, 2426, 2430, 2431, 2437, 2441, 2442, 2445, 2447, 2450, 2451, 2452, 2454, 2455, 2457, 2458, 2459, 2466, 2468, 2475, 2479, 2483, 2484, 2490, 2491, 2496, 2497, 2499, 2500, 2501, 2502, 2503, 2507, 2532, 2534, 2536, 2539, 2540, 2545, 2547, 2549, 2550, 2552, 2554, 2555, 2558, 2559, 2562, 2563, 2567, 2571, 2572, 2573, 2578, 2579, 2581, 2584, 2587, 2593, 2600, 2619, 2624, 2626, 2627, 2629, 2631, 2633, 2634, 2635, 2636, 2637, 2639, 2645, 2646, 2649, 2650, 2651, 2653, 2656, 2657, 2658, 2660, 2661, 2665, 2666, 2671, 2673, 2675, 2679, 2690, 2691, 2696, 2698, 2699, 2700, 2704, 2711, 2712, 2716, 2721, 2722, 2723, 2724, 2725, 2727, 2729, 2746, 2760, 2761, 2765, 2767, 2773, 2774, 2775, 2779, 2780, 2781, 2782, 2783, 2784, 2785, 2787, 2790, 2791, 2794, 2815, 2817, 2829, 632 and 12, 27, 12th, 13th, 905, 906, 1310, 1341, 1897, 2311, 13th, 52, 55, 60, 74, 107, 121, 128, 136, 141, 147, 167, 170, 192, 198, 204, 219, 220, 227, 248, 260, 284, 291, 292, 293, 303, 305, 309, 327, 328, 342, 359, 361, 362, 384, 388, 390, 410, 449, 469, 473, 477, 479, 482, 483, 484, 496, 500, 501, 511, 519, 533, 534, 546, 553, 554, 558, 573, 574, 592, 593, 597, 601, 663, 666, 677, 684, 685, 689, 691, 690, 796, 705, 714, 715, 725, 729, 737, 757, 759, 775, 811, 820, 825, 830, 835, 840, 897, 898, 900, 912, 914, 966, 969, 970, 981, 995, 997, 999, 1000, 1004, 1008, 1011, 1015, 1016, 1031, 1050, 1052, 1053, 1057, 1069, 1070, 1072, 1087, 1089, 1094, 1103, 1107, 1129, 1148, 1149, 1150, 1161, 1177, 1201, 1205, 1206, 1208, 1213, 1215, 1226, 1238, 1255, 1285, 1339, 1352 at 1400, 1594, 1597, 1604, 1622, 1717, 1717, 1728, 1731, 1736, 1740, 1742, 1772, 1855, 1858, 1922, 1938, 1941, 1956, 1972, 1992, 2111, 2119, 2140, 2141, 2236, 2353, 2376, 2380, 2390, 2409, 2420, 2423, 2425, 2457, 2479, 2483, 2502, 2534, 2540, 2558, 2568, 2584, 2600, 2624, 2627, 2631, 2633, 2645, 2646, 2658, 2660, 2665, 2670, 2696, 2699, 2724, 2761, 13th, 14th, 266, 656, 668, 1334, 2499, 2578, 14th, 18. 45, 53, 54, 66, 109, 155, 171, 182, 185, 190, 201, 214, 223, 232, 235, 243, 246, 290, 380, 308, 316, 324, 358, 367, 369, 381, 386, 393, 394, 402, 404, 409, 412, 413, 414, 415, 417, 425, 426, 480, 492, 494, 498, 512, 521, 523, 540, 577, 578, 586, 588, 594, 600, 603, 604, 628, 633, 634, 644, 645, 648, 649, 680, 686, 690, 698, 718, 727, 730, 731, 734, 741, 758, 761, 762, 763, 764, 769, 781, 783, 784, 786, 789, 790, 794, 797, 798, 802, 806, 818, 819, 824, 833, 834, 836, 839, 845, 846, 848, 858, 864, 866a, 867, 889, 890, 904, 921, 928, 938, 951, 952, 953, 959, 960, 977, 978, 1020, 1023, 1032, 1033, 1036, 1061, 1062, 1075, 1099, 1100, 1119, 1121, 1185, 1189, 1196, 1234, 1235, 1236, 1248, 1249, 1252, 1254, 1283, 1328, 1330, 1331, 1345, 1350b, 1356, 1377, 1395, 1445, 1447, 1476, 1492, 1503, 1504, 1516, 1543, 1547, 1548, 1572, 1577, 1605, 1613, 1614, 1619, 1637, 1723, 1725, 1726, 1732, 1733, 1741, 1746, 1747, 1761, 1762, 1771, 1856, 1858, 1859, 1899, 1902, 1918, 1928, 1929, 1952, 1975, 2085, 2160, 2261, 2266, 2273, 2303, 2309, 2310, 2355, 2356, 2406, 2407, 2431, 2441, 2454, 2466, 2484, 2503, 2593, 2626, 2629, 2634, 2651, 2653, 2666, 2668, 2679, 2698, 2716, 2765, 2767, 2773, 2774, 2775, 2780, 2783, 15, 30, 47, 58, 70, 149, 285, 286, 287, 288, 313, 368, 373, 379, 380, 385, 418, 432, 446, 448, 493, 525, 541, 575, 616, 664, 694, 739, 801, 841, 844, 853, 880, 955, 958, 961, 962, 1003, 1017, 1018, 1024, 1026, 1059, 1060, 1105, 1202, 1232, 1233, 1247, 1250, 1260, 1264, 1482, 1508, 1617, 1626, 1628, 1636, 1649, 1656, 1745, 1750, 1757, 1763, 1767, 1876, 1882, 1948, 1957, 1958, 1964, 1978, 2003, 2175, 2178, 2221, 2352, 2418, 2452, 2455, 2554, 2673, 2675, 2691, 2704, 2729, 15th, 16th, 99, 1367, 16th, 90, 335, 445, 724, 745, 755, 867, 957, 1019, 1030, 1065, 1068, 1088, 1239, 1362, 1370, 1374, 1618, 1749, 1768, 1861, 1883, 1911, 1930, 1931, 1936, 1937, 1979, 2009, 2218, 2378, 2422, 2496, 2501, 2532, 2555, 2572, 2573, 2579, 2635, 2636, 2690, 2711, 2721, 2779, 16th, 17th, 1371, 17th and later 289, 868, 956, 963, 988, 1044, 1063, 1101, 1104, 1303, 1748, 1869, 2267, 2450, 2497, 2581, 2619, 2656. Characteristics of the Byzantine text. Compared to Alexandrian text-type manuscripts, the distinct Byzantine readings tend to show a greater tendency toward smooth and well-formed Greek. They display fewer instances of textual variation between parallel synoptic gospel passages, and they are less likely to present contradictory or difficult issues of exegesis. For example, Mark chapter 1 verse 2 reads, "As it is written in the prophets," in the Byzantine text, whereas the same verse reads, "As it is written in Isaiah the prophet." In all other early textual witnesses, since the quotation introduced is partly from Malachi, the Byzantine form of the verse avoids the difficulty that might be adduced were it to be concluded that Mark was presenting a factual inaccuracy. Another characteristic is the grammar and the different order of words. For example, John chapter 6 verse 49 epsilon nu tau eta epsilon rho eta mu omega tau omicron mu alpha nu alpha codices b c d t w theta tau omicron mu alpha nu alpha epsilon nu tau eta epsilon rho eta mu omega codices a l psi f1 f13 mss. Of the Byzantine text type, Mark chapter 1 verse 9 epsilon iota sigma tau omicron nu iota omicron rho delta alpha nu eta nu epsilon pi omicron iota omega alpha nu omicron epsilon codices b d epsilon pi omicron iota omega alpha nu omicron epsilon iota sigma tau omicron nu iota omicron rho delta alpha nu eta nu codices a w. Manuscripts of the Byzantine text type also. The Byzantine text does not contain verses included by Textus Receptus, Luke chapter 17 verse 36, Acts chapter 8 verse 37, 1534. There are no consistent Byzantine witnesses amongst the early New Testament papyri. Nevertheless, instances of distinctive Byzantine readings are not unusual in the earliest texts, even though they otherwise conform more to other text types or none. Hence, many distinctive Byzantine readings are likely to be early in date. Two broad explanations have been offered for this observation, that the Byzantine text type transmits a text closest to the primary form of the New Testament books, whose early manuscript witnesses have not survived. Is this text type predominated in regions where the climate did not favor the preservation of papyrus? That the Byzantine text represents a consistent exercise in textual compilation and correction from around the 4th century, the editors having eclectically selected those readings from a range of early manuscripts that best conform to the presupposed standards of the characteristics to be expected in the New Testament text. Origin of the Byzantine text. In order to displace the Textus Receptus from its initially prominent position among printed editions of the Greek New Testament, later textual scholars of the critical text persuasion saw the need for a thoroughgoing theory of the transmission of the text that could effectively disregard the overwhelmingly numerical superiority of the Byzantine text which formed its base. This Westcott-Hort's introduction, accomplished in masterful detail as the culmination of 28 years of laborious effort on the part. They summarize the problem early on in the work as follows. A theoretical presumption indeed remains that a majority of extant documents is more likely to represent a majority of ancestral documents at each stage of transmission than vice versa. Quote, in the discussion that follows, they reason that the incalculable and fortuitous complexity of the causes here at work in the transmission of the text leads them to the conclusion that every ground for expecting a priori any sort of correspondence of numerical proportion between existing documents and the less numerous ancestors in any one age falls to the ground. Among those modern scholars who believe that the Byzantine text is only a secondary witness to the original text of the autographs, there is some debate concerning the origin of the Byzantine text and the reasons for its widespread existence and use. The suggestions that have been put forward are that Lucian of Antioch used his text-critical skills to produce a recension, that Constantine I paid for the wide distribution of manuscripts which came from a common source, that after the Western Roman Empire stopped using Greek, and because of barbarian and Muslim invasions, eliminating the possibility for either Jerusalem as his area to exercise any further influence on the text of the Greek New Testament. The only church to actively preserve the Greek text was the Byzantine Church, which exercised central control from the Apostolic See of Antioch and withstood the Muslims until the 15th century. The standard Byzantine text used by the Eastern, Greek-speaking Greek Orthodox Church is supported by late minuscule manuscripts dating after the 4th century. However, some are earlier and a few papyri are also classified here. The early Byzantine text is near to the Alexandrian text in that it differs from the late Byzantine text in roughly 3,000 places. Kurt Aland did not consider early Byzantine families such as the Empire to be classified as Byzantine manuscripts. He placed some of them into Category 3 of the Greek New Testament manuscripts. Aland placed all manuscripts with standard Byzantine text into Category V, the Textus Receptus. The first printed edition of the Greek New Testament was completed by Erasmus and published by Johann Froben of Basel on March 1, 1516. Due to the pressure of his publisher to bring their edition to market before the competing Complutense and Polyglot, Erasmus based his work on around a half-dozen manuscripts, all of which dated from the 12th century or later, and all but one were of the Byzantine text type. 6 verses that were not witnessed in any of these sources he back-translated from the Latin Vulgate. and Erasmus also introduced many readings from the Vulgate and Church Fathers. This text came to be known as the Textus Receptus, or received text, after being thus termed by Bonaventure Elsevier, an enterprising publisher from the Netherlands, in his 1633 edition of Erasmus's text. The New Testament of the King James Version of the Bible was translated from editions of what was to become the Textus Receptus. The different Byzantine majority text of Hodges and Amp, Farstad, as well as Robinson and Amp Pierpont, is called majority because it is considered to be the Greek text established on the basis of the reading found in the vast majority of the Greek manuscripts. The Textus Receptus differs from the majority text in 1,838 Greek readings, of which 1,005 represent translatable differences.